we're going to look at how to apply a Tafomar matrix. We start by pinching the band, and the curved end is towards the gingival. It goes into the slot, and at this point you can go into the center, go to the left depending on whether it's mesial or distal, or to the right. Then you lock this by screwing this in place. That locks the band in place. Then we're going to apply the Tafomar matrix to the tooth. Once it's around the tooth, we tighten the ring so the matrix band can adapt well to the tooth itself. The next thing that we want to do is to demonstrate how to fill a occlusal amalgam, and then we'll move on to how to place a two-surface composite. So to fill the amalgam after the tooth is prepared, we need to varnish the tooth with some type of varnish. You can even use bonding agent. Now I'm going to mix the amalgam in the triturator. And we'll carry the amalgam with an amalgam carrier. Directly to the filling. Okay, express this into the filling, and using a condenser, we're going to condense or pack the amalgam into the tooth. You should have about 3 to 5 minutes to do this before the amalgam hardens. My favorite instrument is a burnisher. It's a ball or football burnisher. We simply burnish and carve the occlusal at the same time using a burnisher. At this point, if you wish, you can also use a carving instrument like a carver to carve the excess amalgam off. So an amalgam is a very forgiving and very easy restoration. Next, I want to demonstrate how to do a two-surface composite. In this case, this prep is already prepped out, and we're just simply going to look at the placement of the composite. You will use your bonding agent of choice. It can either be a one-component or a two-component composite agent. My choice is the SE bond, so it's a two-component system comprising of a primer and a bonding agent. After the tooth is prepared and is air-dried, we dip our composite brush into a primer, and we saturate the area, the entire prep, with the primer. The primer allows the bonding agent to stick better. So once this is done, we're going to move on using a separate brush to apply the bonding agent. All we need is a very thin layer. After this is applied, you can lightly air dry, and we will light cure for 10 seconds. Next, we will use a sandwich technique where we're going to sandwich in some flowable composite. This is very useful in filling in the gingival floor to avoid any gaps. One tip here is that before you cure, you would want your assistant to hold on to this wall. You want to physically pull the band against the wall to get a better contact prior to curing, otherwise you'll have a short contact here. So while we're curing, one of the assistants should be pulling against the wall. So we actually want to force a contact while this is curing. Once this is cured, we're going to apply our composite. In this case, we'll be using a hybrid composite. So we will express the composite into the balance of the prep. We will condense with your condensing instrument of choice. Again, my choice is to use a ball burnisher. And as you light cure, pull your contact towards the adjacent tooth so that you won't have an open contact. Okay? So you should have an assistant holding this as you're light curing. I will cure for 20 to 30 seconds, after which I will take off the top of my matrix and cure for another 10 seconds to get to the inner possible area where the matrix band is. Since the matrix band is metal, light is not getting through in the inner proximal area right now. To remove the tafomer, you simply unscrew. That allows the band to disengage. This lifts, and you can simply remove the tafomer matrix. At this point, you want to re-cure the mesial to make sure that light is passing through for an additional 10 seconds. When that's finished, you go ahead and finish and polish as usual. My preference is to use a 30 fluted finishing burr on a high speed.